Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Crypto Lark. Welcome to your Monday afternoon, 4 o'clock p.m. New Zealand live stream. I know it's Sunday for a lot of you guys. Welcome to the party. Anyway, now some quick channel updates before we get into everything. Lots of fun interviews coming up this week. Today I got to sit down with Leo Gantz. He's an investor and an entrepreneur. Very interesting to chat with him about people looking into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Look at that published up later for you guys. Talking to Naomi Brockwell tomorrow, Bitcoin Girl, as some of you may know her. The guys from R-Chain, the guys from Sophia TX, and hopefully can actually get the guys from Lisk on this week. We had to reschedule from last week, so hopefully get those guys pinned down for this week. Another update for you as well. In March, I'm going to be going to Hong Kong for Token 2049, which is pretty exciting. Hopefully I can score some sweet interviews for you guys while I'm there as well. Now, a quick public service announcement too, guys. Very, very important. Someone in the Telegram has just posted that there has been an email going around from cryptolark@gmail.com saying, hey, I've got some sweet investment opportunity for you guys. Not me. Don't do it. Without a doubt, guys. Watch out there. There are plenty of scammers in the cryptocurrency space. Somebody with a very similar email, for example. Holy cow. So, there you go. Yes, it is the Cryptolark. The one, the only, the Cryptolark. Da-da-da-da. If you don't see the, it's not the Cryptolark. So guys, do keep an eye out for those things. Those scams keep popping up. I mean, hey, that's a pretty minimal scam in my eyes. You guys have seen what's been happening recently with basically every famous person on Twitter, it seems, is having their account mirrored, and then somebody posts up, hey, send me some money, and I'll send you back more money. I mean, I can't believe people are falling for that, but holy cow, apparently people are falling for that. Now, just be careful out there, guys. Remember, this is how I communicate with you. This is how we chat. You know, if you want to come over and join the Telegram group, we're talking over there about cryptocurrencies all the time, answering questions, talking about information. We got a really great community of people who are over there chatting. Welcome, 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 everybody. So happy to see everyone here. Mr. Harry Lasagna, Brinks Mining in the house, running the admin in the chat today. Welcome to everybody else as well. Great to see you all here. So, keep safe out there, guys. Now, I've been working on the Elastos review, so that is the one that won the community coin vote of the week. So that is coming up here later today. Very interesting project though, Elastos. Holy cow, these guys are big time. Big time, big time, big time, what they're trying to do anyway. I guess we'll watch for the final verdict in the review a bit later on, but certainly seems really interesting without a doubt. So keep an eye out for that, guys. Now, going on to our first story of the day. Dogecoin is helping Ethereum solve its biggest issue, which is pretty interesting. This is a story about how they've been testing TrueBit with Dogecoin. Good old Dogecoin. There's a lot of people who love the old Doge out there, and it is still out there, still doing stuff, more than just a meme, of course. Brocky77 says, hi Lark, did you see or hear about the 60-minute story on Bitcoin? I have not seen that 60-minute story on Bitcoin. I know there was, are you talking about the Australian one? I know that they were talking about Ozcoin at one point there, but I have not seen that, unfortunately. Pradeep Nutella, do you know by any chance when Binance is going to list a new coin? Asks Pradeep. Pradeep, the only people that know that are Binance and the people whose coin is going to be listed. And that's it. That's it, man. Nothing else. Brocky77 says, yeah, correct, the Ozcoin scam. Yeah. This is a $1 million question that a lot of people would like the answer to. When's my coin going to be listed on a big exchange? They'll go and buy a bunch of it beforehand. Look, that is very sensitive information. People trading against that, that's insider trading when you know that something's going to happen and you use that information to your advantage. So Did you guys see Steemit mentioned on the Joe Rogan Experience? I did not. That's interesting. That's interesting. Steemit's been making a lot of waves recently. Definitely a lot of people have been talking about them. Some big YouTubers have actually been talking about them as well. So it's pretty cool to see Steemit, and really, I guess, more over the Steem blockchains. It's not just Steemit, but of course it's DTube and all the other things that spin off of the Steem blockchain's messenger service. And I think they've got like a Steemit version of Twitter now as well. So definitely, you know, a lot going on with Steem and Steemit overall. Jermaine asks, what's your take on lending platforms? Now, my take on lending platforms: don't do it. Stay away from them. Now, I have to make the differential here. We're not talking about Salt, and we're not talking about like Ethlend. That's a totally different thing. You go there and you get a loan from somebody. It's different than giving your money and expecting a percentage in return. Any of those projects where they are supposed to be investing your money and you're trying to get a percentage back, or they're promising you some kind of percentage back, total BS. Wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. Have you tried Ethlend? I have not tried Ethlend. I bought some a while ago. But, oh, Crypto Spark in the house. What's going on, man? Hit that like button. Nice little reminder for everybody, of course. Lark, have you looked into Blue? They found a critical flaw in the Jax wallet, found the central locking sketchy feature in Tron, and were the ones to discover the Ether Delta hack. I have not, but that's cool. That's definitely very cool sounding. Wow, there's, you know, I try to get as many reviews out for you guys as I can in a week. You know, 2 or 3 coin reviews anyway a week. Quite a few interviews for you guys. Well, I find the interviews are so really useful and helpful to actually get to talk to those teams. Nice mix up, of course, but nevertheless. Dr. Puffin Stuff says you can lend out Steem Power from the Steem website for 36% APR. Not the best, not the worst, but it's safe. There you go. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know. There you go. Steem's pretty cool. A lot of things you can do over there. Definitely worth a social account worth having, at least. Okay. Let's move on to our next topic of the day here. $100 million grant to help Ethereum scale. I love the artwork here, by the way. The crying baby Ethereum, people shoveling money into its mouth. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, of course. Now, Omisego, Cosmos, Golem, Maker, and Raiden, as well as a Japanese venture capital firm, are all dumping money into this, creating the Ethereum Community Fund, which is pretty cool. So nice to see, of course, people throwing a bit of money in to try and get Ethereum up to scratch, of course. But this is going beyond just trying to make the Ethereum ecosystem better, but of course actually about funding projects on the Ethereum ecosystem. So that's pretty cool. Antipatter asks, Lark, do you like PivX? New exchange listing in March and zero coin proof of stake coming very soon. Yeah, I love PivX. I think it's one of the definitely undervalued or under-recognized privacy coins. I know Zcash and Monero get a lot of the attention, and Verge gets a lot of attention too, even though it's, you know, just using the Tor browser, which isn't, you know, without a doubt, not trashing on the Tor browser, but if you actually look at the privacy features of PivX, they're pretty robust. So yeah, I'm a big PivX fan. I think they got a great community, great product, and you know, I'm slowly accumulating over time. Crypto Spark, I don't want to hijack the stream. Join the party, Crypto Spark. Join the party, man. One of these days, you and I are going to do a live stream as soon as I get my new computer. I know I keep putting it off, but it's going to happen one of these days. Okay. I like PivX because of the masternode. Yeah, it's actually one of the, I mean, okay, it's $60,000 approximately for a PivX masternode at the moment, but relatively affordable. You get 500 PivX a year out of it approximately, so it's not bad. Not bad, I could say. Why is there so much hype on ETN everywhere? Is it that good, or is it just noobs promoting it? ETN, Electronium, gets a lot of hype. I mean, look, I did a review on it. I wasn't very impressed by Electronium, I know it's done very well post ICO and that people have made a really good return who did get in on it, but I don't think it was bringing anything particularly special, but it's got a great marketing team and they keep pushing that, so rock and roll. There you go. Somebody was asking about an update from from Universa. So I keep trying to chase around Alexander Bordich about that Universa review, but haven't got him nailed down yet. So maybe one of these days I'll have to message him again after the stream today. Could GoldX be a real contender to USDT? It claims to be Sharia compliant by the Hello Gold Foundation. Could be. Been hearing a few people talk about it. There's a few good gold-backed cryptos out there that are offering some pretty good potential there too. Maui Gold asks, why are you a Tron maximalist? Is that directed towards me, Maui Gold? I'm far from a Tron maximalist, man. Without a doubt. You know, it's, look, Tron, like I said in my review that I did back in December, ambitious roadmap. Certainly, if they ever pull off what they want to pull off, could be a really powerful project. But the reality is they haven't really done anything yet. So definitely it got way overvalued, way pumped up like crazy. So, Vkrant, have you given up on NEM yet? Of course not. Why would I give up on NEM, man? Why would I give up on NEM, Vkrant? It's still solid, man. It's still solid stuff. Tron copied their code. Actually, a lot of cryptocurrencies have copied their code, and that's not a defense of Tron, but that's the realistic situation. A lot of cryptocurrencies have simply copy and pasted and then slightly modified, of course, worked on, adapted their code after that. So anyway, you guys will make of it what you will. I don't invest in Tron, haven't invested in Tron, but I know a lot of people out there are pretty enthusiastic about it. Crypto Rose, Lark will never give up on NEM. Any thoughts on Digibyte? We're actually going to be talking about all the platforms here in a few minutes, so keep tuned in. We're going to be talking about all the platforms in the top 100 here pretty soon, guys. So now this was a story that I found very interesting and I think is actually going on all over the world. These were just the first guys to get caught. Polish central bank secretly funds anti-crypto YouTube propaganda videos. I mean, this is crazy. Literally, the central bank paid, I think, $27,000 to a YouTuber to go out there and trash talk cryptocurrency. I mean, don't you think that that's happening elsewhere? Don't you think that the mainstream media is getting paid to do that exact same thing? Don't you think that other YouTubers are getting paid to do that exact same thing? It is definitely going on. Definitely going on. Charles asks, Lark, what's your real name? It's Lark, man. Lark the Crypto Lark. Of course, the Fed is doing it. They're just better at not getting caught, says Dr. Puffin stuff. I think there's probably a lot of governments, a lot of banks that are doing that. It's definitely going on. You can see, I mean, sometimes you look around and go, gosh, doesn't this seem like all this FUD that's going on right now is orchestrated? All these, you know, people on YouTube are talking about it, and all these guys on the TV are talking about it. And, oh, look, I turned to reputable news sources and the media, and they're talking about it too. Oh my goodness. Yeah. BGH asks, Lark, do you think Monero will stay king of privacy? If not, who do you see taking their spot? Monero could stay the king of privacy, but I think the biggest competition for Monero is probably Zcash, to be honest. And although I'm very bullish on PivX, I think Monero has probably got the bigger community at the moment. You know, PivX has got some ground to pick up, and even though I'm a big supporter of PivX and I don't have any Monero, and I don't have any Zcash, they're very, very solid cryptocurrencies, have been around for a long time and have very solid, secure networks. So they've definitely got their positions well stuck in there. But I think if there were going to be any sort of ones to overtake those, I would be looking at things like PivX or something like what's the other guy? Zerocoin, for example. Those are also very powerful privacy coins. And farther down the list, we have Navcoin, which just keeps building and keeps coming up and keeps developing their platform. So there's a lot of others out there, but Monero and Zcash are definitely staying very strong. Zcash to outperform Bitcoin private, asks Stephen Hingley. Interesting question. Don't have an answer for you, my friend, though. Okay. Let's hop on to our next story here. The search for aliens is struggling thanks to cryptocurrency mania. This may be one of the... I don't know what to make of the story, guys. I saw this, I was like, really? Is this a thing? It's a crazy situation. This is where they're going now. But if you read the actual crux of the story is that because you have all these guys out there, using their GPUs and all this computing power to, chase after digital currency. And you can see by the tone of the article, it's here we go. Cryptocurrency, so they can be part of the latest, stupidest, and most irresponsibly hyped get-rich-quick tech craze are hindering the actual important work of finding out if aliens exist. As, nevertheless. The reality is that actually all of these hardcore, very powerful application-specific computers that are being built, when they are no longer viable enough to be able to continue mining Bitcoin, for example, that computing power, that hashing power, will have other applications. There's already a few different organizations which are specifically looking at how to do that. So, for example, the guys at Bytum, that's one thing they want to do. Take old ASICs, utilize the heck out of them, and use that for machine learning and all the rest of it. So, Josh Purvis, I think Zencash's secure node concept is interesting for privacy. I like Zencash. They're pretty cool. I've been in contact with the team from Zencash, and we've got an interview scheduled for just the start of March, actually, so keep an eye out for that. It's definitely, I remember I reviewed Zencash, and it's a very interesting project as well. Privacy platform, if you will. So, are there any forks of cryptocurrencies that you think are actually worthwhile? Well, Phil, that's an interesting question. There's a lot of different forks of cryptocurrencies. Now look, you could say Ethereum Classic, for example, is pretty worthwhile, assuming that people build on it. And there's a couple of projects that are building on Ethereum Classic. As an example, Bitcoin Cash. If you like your Bitcoin centralized, and some people do, cool. That's cool, But I think the originals are usually kind of the best. But then there's some projects that fork a certain amount of the code, and you have to kind of think, well, what kind of a fork is this? Is this a code fork, or is this a community split, like what happened with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, right? Or is this, hey, we're taking your code, forking it, and creating something slightly different? So, Montedwan, that's not fair. Ethereum Classic is the original, not the fork. Well, that's true, actually, Montedwan. You're correct. They're the ones who kept with the original code. Ethereum, number 2, cryptocurrency, they're the ones who forked, actually, and changed things. So you are correct. You are correct in that. That is a exact thing to say. Any guesses on what Litecoin's surprise is? Asked 69 Steph. I'm going to go with either smart contracts or privacy. Charlie Lee's been talking about both of those things recently. So, we'll see. Either way, definitely interesting. Okay. Let's leave the aliens behind. Anonymous cryptocurrency trader buys $400 million in Bitcoin. There was actually another big investor that bought hundreds of millions as well. Holy cow. Holy cow. It's craziness, without a doubt. That's a big buy. That's a big buy. Now, they bought that back when it was a little over $6,000. Or, sorry, just below. Right around $6,000. And that's just a crazy buy order. Definitely institutional money. I mean, it could just be some billionaires, of course, buying in. Maybe the Winklevoss twins are, stocking up on their Bitcoin holdings. Maybe another anonymous billionaire is stocking up as well. Hard to say, but definitely that just goes to show you guys there's so much support out there for this. Or we can go back to our Central Bank of Poland ad. I mean, imagine this. Imagine you're that guy. You have $400 million. You want to buy some Bitcoin. How much would it cost you to create coordinated FUD in the market to drive the price of Bitcoin down? $20 million? How much would it cost to get all these people out there to say, hey, oh, Bitcoin, bad stuff. Oh, I'm really worried now. You got to wonder, guys. You really do. Come on, Larky. We all know you just bought into Bitcoin with that $400 million. Infinite Access says probably a Saudi prince or something. Maybe. Crypto Lark, that anonymous buyer also bought the top in December and panic sold the first dump. That's also funny. Okay, gaming company Atari announces investment in crypto, share price spikes. This is the new black, guys, and it's a kind of a crazy development in the cryptocurrency space, the blockchain space overall, that we see all these mainstream companies saying, hey, let's do blockchain. That'll be cool. Or, hey, let's talk about cryptocurrencies. That'll be cool. That'll make us relevant again, right? That's what all the cool kids are doing these days. Yeah. We saw this with Kodak. We saw this with a few other companies. Not to mention, of course, that Telegram ICO where they've just taken stupid amounts of money, which is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy situation. You know, all these private pre-sales to his buddies and stuff, and what a mess. What a mess, guys. S asks, thoughts on Muslim coin? No idea, never heard of it. Interesting, though. What is the point of the Atari coin, though? No idea. Haven't looked into it, but it's definitely... I really just look at this and I go, okay, why are all these companies doing that? Because their share price spikes, guys. You talk about cryptocurrencies, boom, overnight share price spike. This has kind of been the pattern. Now, this has been a rinse and repeat for some companies. They looked at, oh, Kodak did that, we'll do that too. I'm sure we're going to see some others do that, but I feel like that's going to wear off soon. That pretty soon when companies just say, oh, cryptocurrencies, hey, we're doing a new cryptocurrency thing, blockchain, or is that what it's called? The chain with the blocks, the chain block? Is that the thing? That's the thing, right? Yeah, make a press release, we're going to do it. That's kind of what's happening here, guys. There are some companies that are serious and are getting seriously involved. You know, you can look at GMO or DMM in Japan, for example. You can look at Samsung. They're getting very serious as well. That's legit. I'm not so sure that some of the, like Kodak, for example, is going to be legit. Japan's cryptocurrency industry to launch self-regulating body, sources say. Now, this is pretty big stuff here, guys. We've just seen this happen in the UK, and now Japan's cryptocurrency industry is going to be doing the same thing. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that the cryptocurrency industry should be regulating itself? Slopestyle 2022, what up? Seems like a boring time in crypto. Yeah, nothing's exploding today. Crypto numbnuts, no shave till 20K. Now, I don't know about this. You know, we let the banks regulate themselves. At least they're doing this voluntarily. You know, they didn't go to the governments and say, hey, just let's regulate ourselves. You don't need to look over here. They're actually taking the initiative and saying, hey, let's actually... Oh, hi, Uncle Lark. It's Sophia. Spencer and Sophia. What's going on, guys? Big shout out from New Zealand. That's my brother and my niece over there. Cool stuff. What's up, guys? Spencer says, never a boring time in crypto. There's always something going on, isn't there? And I guess if all this stuff that we've been talking about today, stuff's going on, but nothing's exploded. So, very cool. All right, guys. I wanted to talk about platforms today, and that's going to make up most of the rest of our session today. Of course, answer some questions for you guys as well. But I've taken out all of the big blockchain platforms from the top 100. I've probably missed a couple because, you know, what are you going to do? Crypto Merch Club says might lead to less crappy regulation if we tried to do some ourselves in the crypto community instead. This is true, because actually you have all these governments who are trying to regulate, and they don't know what they're talking about. You see some of these guys talking about it sometimes. Old man comes out there, oh, it's this Bitcoin thing, I'll regulate it. Yeah, no. Definitely a problem there. Now, let's do some quick drop-ins here on some different cryptocurrency blockchain platforms. So, thoughts on A-Chain, not top 100, but close. Haven't looked into it. Canopy Music, I'm chasing the team around. Hopefully we'll get a review in soon for you guys. Now, Neo's on everyone's tongues at the moment. Everywhere you look, it's Neo, Neo, Neo. Neo has been developing exquisitely, and we've seen a big bounce back recently. I mean, if you were able to get in here at the recent slump, it was definitely some good buying times here, came in quite recently. We did see Neo getting down, let's do the 1 month here. And we saw Neo all the way down to $70 during the crash. It did take a pretty big jump down, but of course it's very resilient cryptocurrency and has come back. Now, so much is being developed on Neo. When you actually start to look around, you look at all these different projects, you start to realize all the links that Neo has. There's so many. It actually gets kind of crazy. Robert Gomez, what's up? Love some NEM, love some Neo. Neo is connected to so many projects. The Neo Foundation is investing in so many different projects. Very, very interesting. You know, I'm reviewing Elastos at the moment, and look, Elastos isn't a NEM-based token, but they've got very strong connections with the team over at Neo. Mr. Harry Lasagna, do I know you? That's just the friendly Mr. Harry Lasagna, Spencer. So Neo, I think, is one of the real top projects at the moment, and it's still, even though it's at $130 today, I still think that this has a lot of room to grow moving forward. And I think that's really interesting, that we do have this exponential potential for growth moving forward. Ola Art, I am a New Zealander. Well, I live in New Zealand. New Zealand's my home. This is where I've lived more than half my life now, but I did grow up in the United States, so that's where the accent came from. Now, I think we're going to continue to see big growth in Neo just because the amount of business doing, just because we've got so much connection and they're in the right place at the right time. As Crypto Rose says, Neo is still relatively cheap, guys. So, of course, DYOR, guys, not professional financial advice, all that fun jazz. Quantum. Now, this is a project that has been doing very well recently, too. Now, they have had a recent all-time high, much higher. We did see Quantum spike up to nearly $100. Probably expected a little over $100 in some exchanges. Back at the start of January, it has come way, way down. It is now at a third of that value. Now, Quantum is another one of those projects that has just been absolutely nailing down all kinds of different partnerships. Again, when you start looking around the space, you start looking at some of these different projects. You keep seeing the same names pop up. Neo and Quantum, if you will, are some of the names that pop up a lot. So definitely this is one that, you know, I'm quite bullish on Quantum. I think it's another one of these kind of really sort of Neo level projects moving forward. It will be one of the big players. Peter Crins, ETH will get it together. Relax, just relax. We're going to talk about Ethereum, and I like Ethereum, but we're going to talk about how that's moving forward. Icon, now this is one that has done super, super well since its ICO. And it's very much a project that has some real promise moving forward. when you look at Icon's ideas, you know, hyper-connect the world and all that fun stuff, I mean, those are fun phrases to throw around. But actually, if you look at the team of people working behind this and the, you know, the massive amount of developers, and, you know, go and read that white paper and think, wow, what are they going to be doing here? This is pretty big, right? You can definitely see that Icon is a project that's got huge potential. I mean, it's only $1.8 billion in the market cap. Only $1.8 billion. That's, of course, not all that much, you know. Now, look, recently we've seen it up around the $10 mark, which is kind of its all-time high. Now, that was still, in my opinion, relatively cheap for Icon. Because, again, Icon's one of those projects I'm going to see as, you know, can easily be a $100 coin. Just give it that time, right? Will we see it at $100 by the end of the year? I mean, God, who knows, right? But definitely it's a coin that has huge potential because there's just such a big, serious, professional team behind it, which is awesome. D. Anderson, thoughts on the current airdrop? That is the CRNC airdrop for the pay to get streamed. It's cool. I love airdrops. That's rock and roll, man. I kind of like that they're doing a nice airdrop for everybody. So that's cool. I dig it. I dig it. Mate. I think it's Mate. M-A-T-E-J. Asked, titanium, real deal, question mark. It was certainly an interesting interview that I did with Michael Stolaire. You know, I didn't get into titanium at the ICO. I know there was a lot of hype around it. I didn't get time to read the white paper. Having read the white paper, I'm not sure I would have invested in titanium at the ICO anyway. And it's not something that I'm going to be looking to do at the moment. So, Phil Berry asks, Lark, do you accept payments from projects to promote their coins? Phil Berry, good question. Look, Phil, the only time I do sponsorships is for ICOs, and those are for some of the ICOs, not all the ICOs. If I ever do a sponsorship, it'll be clearly stated at the start of the video, guys. All the interviews, all the reviews I do, none of that stuff is sponsored, guys. I'm probably the only YouTuber out there in YouTube land that will tell you if something's sponsored every time, so just keep that in mind, guys. Michael is all talking about titanium. Titanium won't have working product till 2020, asks Crypto Rose. Yeah, there's with titanium, I just feel like they're just trying to do way too much stuff. I don't know. Not my thing, but I know a lot of people out there are pretty keen on titanium, so. Vikrant asks, Lark, thoughts on Superman? You know, Vikrant, I saw this drama going on between him and Doug Polk the other day, and the thing that I looked at and thought was, why the hell are we talking about other YouTubers? What a waste of time, guys. We've got all this exciting technology out here, all these regulations going on, and different things happening in the crypto space, real things out there moving around and happening. Why waste time talking to other people, guys? Just, you know, let's focus on the tech. Let's focus on what's actually going on here, guys. And that is, of course, the technological revolution that these cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects are bringing for us. Okay. Next up is Waves. Now, Waves is a very interesting project, and they just keep flying under the radar. Now, we have seen Waves actually have a nice run here recently, guys. We did see Waves up around 15 bucks back in December. It has gone back down. Now, Waves has a lot of exciting things on their roadmap coming forward, not to mention, of course, all the exciting things that they've already done. And that's cool. That's cool. I really like that, you know, we have so many things already accomplished for Waves, like their decks, for example. That's cool. I mean, I'd like to see some more coins listed on their decks, but of course, we need more coins to be developed on Waves, and I think that's perhaps Waves' challenge at the moment, is actually to get more people coming and developing on their platform. Now, Waves is a Russian project, obviously global in reach, but I think that they've kind of been really looking at that market. I know they've signed some deals with like the government of Kazakhstan, for example. So that's pretty big stuff. I mean, Waves has, hasn't had that big pop yet, but there's only 100 million Waves. It's 765 at the moment. I really feel like this is one of those cryptocurrencies that if they can really get some business coming to them, if they could really get some great partnerships, then Waves has a lot of potential moving forward. But there's quite a few ifs there, so let's see what Waves can pull off. But I like Waves. I think it's pretty cool. I don't hold any, but it's, it's one that I've kind of considered back and forth. Should I get some Waves? Should I not get some Waves? Should I get some Waves? Should I not get some Waves? I don't know. But it's definitely an interesting one. Now, one that's kind of becoming, I think, very quickly everybody's sweet, sweet darling is Dragon Chain. Holy cow. Now look, Dragon Chain, I think this is so important to point out for, I guess, everyone in the US, is that this is, an ICO incubator that is ready for Americans to hop on board with. All their ICOs are US citizen compliant, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So if you haven't looked into Dragon Chain yet and you're a US citizen, you want to get involved in some ICOs, Dragon Chain may be your thing. And of course, it's down at $1.80 right now. Then they've got this thing where you have to actually, if you hold a bunch of Dragon Chain coins in your account and you hold them there for a long time, you actually accrue certain bonuses like discounts on the ICOs, or for example, you get early access to the ICOs as well, which is pretty cool. So Crypto Rose, Dragon is way too low. It is a steal. If you guys are asking about, I think somebody's asking about the Nex exchange, or they're asking about Nexus. Hard to say. Let's go a quick look there. There we go. Yes. Do you think that Nex will be the best decentralized exchange? I don't know. Interesting question. Interesting question. The best, that's a highly subjective question, because you got to remember, Nex is focused on Neo-based assets first, right? And yeah, they'll be bringing in cross-chain later, but let's see how they go forward. We got a lot of competition in the space, guys. As Chuck A points out, EOS Finex, Binance is going to DEX. I mean, Binance has a stupid amount of money available to develop a really robust DEX. I'm not saying that Neo doesn't, and the City of Zion aren't amazing people, but the DEX space is getting really interesting, guys. And we've got a lot of great choices coming up, so really definitely can watch out for that, because we, a lot of competition. But who will be the best? We shall see. Okay, let's go on to Zilliqa. Now, Zilliqa, just done the review on this yesterday. Very interesting project. They're bringing in some new ideas, which is nice. I really do like to see those new ideas being brought in. Their sharding, for example, is a little bit different than what the guys over at Ethereum were talking about, but definitely I think that Zilliqa's got some pretty good sauce here. Let's see what's in that sauce, of course, when they actually get launched later on. But currently, of course, their market cap around 400 million. Probably not a terrible entry point. If you saw it go down, probably sub 5 cents would be a reasonable place to get in without a doubt. But it's definitely a project that has big forward-moving potential, without a doubt. Again, let's see what they can pull off. Slopestyle 2022, according to Blocktivity Info, BitShares Exchange is handling the most transactions with little to zero congestion and is basically instant. BitShares is powerful, man. BitShares is powerful. We're not necessarily talking about DEXs here at the moment, but BitShares is definitely one of the ones to keep an eye on for sure. Lark, have you looked into Sophia TX? Asks Mark T. I have not, but I'm going to be. So tomorrow, actually, I should be having an interview with the team from Sophia TX. So Keep an eye out. Joe Smith says BitShares is nothing to credits. I think BitShares is much better because they're actually here. They've proven themselves over years, whereas credits is a so-so run ICO of a promise of a project that may come out someday. I guess we'll see. You know, I know there's even a lot of people saying, oh, is it a scam or not? And I don't think it's a scam, but certainly their marketing and all that stuff is leaving a lot to be desired, without a doubt. Okay, let's go on to Stratus. Now, our old buddies over at Stratus. Now, we've seen some very big run-ups on Stratus recently. Back in that January high, we saw Stratus all the way up to 20 bucks, which was pretty impressive for Stratus, without a doubt. Now, that is far from, of course, its all-time Bitcoin highs, which we saw actually last year in the Mega Bull run, when we saw it at a higher Bitcoin value, but although a lower dollar value. Now, there's a lot of competition in this space, guys, without a doubt. Stratus is finally seeing its first ICO coming to the Stratus platform, which I think is a pretty exciting thing for Stratus. So I'm pretty excited to see that happening for Stratus, but a lot of space out there, and there's a lot of competition in that space, so yeah, we'll just have to see how Stratus rolls forward. But definitely they've been, I think, quietly developing in the background, trying to deliver. But they've delivered a lot, and they will be delivering a lot moving forward too. So we'll just have to see where the little guys at Stratus end up, and how, of course, their ICOs come off and how it all works. So R-Chain is another one in the top 100 that I have not had a chance to review yet, but I'm going to be talking to the team tomorrow, hopefully. So that seems pretty cool. I haven't researched deep into this yet, though, so you know, I can't give you guys any good comments on R-Chain until, you know, I've actually done the research for the interview tonight, and then watch out for the interview tomorrow, though. But definitely it's a project that the market has been appreciating quite well. So that's definitely one thing to note, but I don't have many comments to make on R-Chain for you guys, unfortunately. Okay. Eternity. Now, Eternity is a project that I reviewed ages ago. Ages ago. Now, very interesting project, using oracles and all that fun kind of jazz, but the market has responded well to Eternity. They've gone from, I think, when I reviewed them, they were down at like a number 110 or something like that, and they're like rank 41 cryptocurrency. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, I think what really counts is partnerships, development, all that fun stuff. And that's where we really see projects kind of coming in and saying, okay, this is what we're really developing. I don't know. Eternity, I looked at it when I reviewed it. I thought, oh, don't want to get some Eternity. Didn't pull the trigger on it. Just wasn't that sold on what they were bringing forward. But that's just me. That's just me. I know, obviously, a lot of people did see something in it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a rank 41 cryptocurrency. But that's just my thoughts. Now, the old guys over at Komodo Platform. Now, look, Komodo is a project, when I first reviewed them, I was quite bullish on Komodo. I thought, wow, Komodo, this is cool. I really like what they're doing. They got all these great features, and the platform's really cool. And they just haven't been able to deliver over at Komodo. I know that they've been working on a lot of different stuff. You know, they've been working a lot on Barter Dex, for example, which is their atomic swap decentralized exchange, and that's really cool. That's really cool. I dig that. But it just really hasn't happened for Komodo yet. They were going to have an ICO, and they actually had to call it off at the last second because the tech wasn't ready. So, yeah, unfortunate about Komodo, but maybe they'll come back. Maybe we'll see some actual projects being built on top of the Komodo platform and all that fun stuff. There's a whole company behind this that are always working on developing Komodo. So definitely don't count Komodo down and out by any means. Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on them. Mercedes Garcia asks, Lark, how do you decide which coins to review? Do you have a checklist? Mercedes, to be honest, one of the things that helps me determine which coins to review, a lot of it is based on, well, I do my community coin, and that is based on what you guys want to see. Of course, I look around and see what some of the perhaps untalked about projects are, right? Try to give those, or some of the popular projects are at the moment, but that being said, if I have a look at, you know, well, what's the kind of most exciting project out here at the moment? For example, Zilliqa. A lot of people asking, Lark, what about Zilliqa? What about Zilliqa? What about Zilliqa? I said, okay, we gotta have a look at Zilliqa. In fact, on Sunday next week, my Sunday afternoon cryptocurrency review will be on Wan Chain. So keep your eyes out for that. But that will be coming. Vikrant asks, thoughts on Blocknet, best DEX out there. Vikrant, no thoughts on Blocknet. I was going to review them a while ago. Keep trying to chase them around for an interview, but haven't got around to it yet. Thanks for the donation, by the way. TGT666, thoughts on QuantStamp for the upcoming months. ETH have a lot of competitors. If Ethereum is no longer #1, smart contract platform QuantStamp might be gone. Thanks for the contribution, by the way, TGT666. I don't think that even if Ethereum gets knocked off as #1, so let's say Cardano or Neo take over as the #2, or simply get, you know, they all get knocked out of #2 by Litecoin, for example, and they're all down in positions 3, 4, 5, and let's say Ethereum's #4 and Cardano's #3, for example. Well, that doesn't mean that QuantStamp's all of a sudden going to become less useful. You know, so I think QuantStamp's a pretty solid project. Not one that I invested in back in the day, but still, it's a rock solid project. Good team. When I talked to the CEO, I mean, very smart dude, very passionate about what he's doing. So I definitely think it can be a very strong project. It'd be nice to see them, of course, branch out and say, hey, we're going to do smart contract audits for all these others as well. So we shall see. We shall see, guys. Someone asked, Lark, do you hodl Bitcoin? Of course I hodl Bitcoin. Hodl the heck out of Bitcoin, man. That's what you do with it. Or, of course, sometimes you spend it on stuff, too. But, you know, mostly hodl it. Steven asked, hey, mate, any thoughts on the shipping ICO? No thoughts. I'm sorry, have not looked into it. Sorry, Steve, but thank you for the contribution. Now, let's go on to our next one. Ardor. Now, Ardor recently had the airdrop for the Ignis token. That saw a big spike in the price. Now, we actually got all the way up to $2. It has since dropped 75% in value, which is pretty big. Now, back in the 1st of January, we had the Ignis airdrop. We also had the start of the Ardor mainnet. So let's see how Ardor develops. I mean, a 75% drop is pretty severe. I mean, it was really one of those situations of we had the airdrop, we had that big bull run going on. Yeah, and then there we go. So, yeah, ouch. Ouch for Ardor, but hopefully they can get something developed and really bring some positive products forward. Remember, they've got a whole company backing them. So, it's still a very strong project. It's still a good company developing a good project. And in fact, that 75% retracement may simply offer a good entry point for anybody who's a fan of the Ardor project and wants to get involved. Seb Fox, glad to hear you haven't given up on Bitcoin, Lark. I thought that you had because you hadn't mentioned it for 5 minutes. Spencer, you have to stop sleeping, then you get to all these reviews. I know, I don't sleep enough anyway, Spencer. But, you know, I try, guys. I try as many reviews out there as possible. Okay, let's get on to our next one. Now, Digibyte. Wowzers. Oh, old Digibyte. Amazingly, Digibyte's up at number 55. the community support behind Digibyte has never ceased to surprise me, which is really interesting. Not a big Digibyte fan personally. You know, they've got a blockchain that doesn't particularly stand out amongst the other blockchains. They haven't been able to attract that business or have a marketing edge. I mean, if you look at like what Neo does with marketing, first class, right? You look at Nem, those guys are busy. They are doing like 10 meetups around the world a week, and it's crazy what the Nem team does. Very hardworking cryptocurrency team there. Digibyte just hasn't clicked on yet, though. And DJ Medley says, Digibyte is a bad name. Maybe, I don't know. Digital Byte, yeah, I kind of like the name. It's not a bad name. It's never one of those ones that's taken off. And it's really interesting because sometimes you just realize in the space there are some projects that if you don't have just absolute top teams, you're not going to do it. Crypto Numbnuts. First coin I ever bought was Digibyte. Dumped it very soon after I learned more about crypto. Crypto Numbnuts. Me too, actually. The first three cryptocurrencies that I bought: Digibyte, Nem, and Ripple. I know, guys. I know. I know. I know. No, seriously though. Digibyte, when I finally looked into it some more, it's like, oh yeah, it's Digibyte. What's this thing? Oh, it's going up like, 1/10%. I better get down this. When I realized what Digibyte was, I realized this isn't actually something I want to get involved in. So there you go. But Nem, though, Nem's one I've stuck with over time. So that is definitely a solid project. And yeah, Ripple, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay. Next one I do solid, man. I keep chasing those guys around. Can't get them on the line though for an interview. Okay, next one up is Ion. Ion is a really cool project. I just reviewed this the other day. They have got some serious connections, guys. I really like what they're trying to do. Now, yeah, it's middleware and they're trying to, be that space in between, but that space in between blockchains I think is going to be really needed in a couple of years. And that's something to keep in mind. We actually got to be finding ways for all these disparate communities to be talking to each other in a, trustless digital way. So Cryptology asks, Lark, do you like Nexus? Do you think it's an achievable project? Yes and yes. I like Nexus. I'm still very bullish on Nexus. We're not talking about Nexus today. I think it's been knocked out of the top 100 at the moment. Where's our old boy Nexus at? I think it's down like 125. We're not talking about Nexus today because it's out of the top 100. We're only talking about top 100 coins today. But yeah, I'm still pretty bullish on Nexus, without a doubt. So okay, let's go on to our next one. And that's Neblio. Neblio. Man, you guys remember when Neblio was like $2? That was a while ago. But it has definitely done very well since then. Rank 88 currently. Nice, strong project from Neblio. And I think those investors who got involved in Neblio at $2 or $5 or $7, laughing all the way to the bank right now. Now, that being said, is it too late to get involved in Neblio? Is the Neblio train left the station? I don't think so necessarily. Look, the circulating supply on Neblio is relatively low. It's only about 13 million. Total supply is only 13.5 million, and that's tiny by comparison. I think we'll easily see this be a $1 billion market cap coin. It's simply a question of when it becomes a $1 billion market cap coin. Assuming, of course, that the team continues to meet their development goals and all that fun stuff, but nevertheless. Charles Norwood asks, hey Lark, can you do an overview of major cryptocurrency conferences, forums around the globe? Oh, that's an interesting idea. When you actually start looking into it, Charles, and I've been looking into it because I've been trying to plan, okay, well, what are some ones that I can go to? And that's why I'm actually going to Hong Kong in March, because there's actually a really good one going on called Token 2049. A lot of great people are going to be there. Hopefully I get to do some interviews and some really great, vlog style videos for you guys while I'm there. But nevertheless, there's so many of them. It's crazy. There's like 3 or 4 a week all over the world. Some are better than others, without a doubt. I'm trying to get some tickets to go to the Ethereum conference in Toronto in May. Haven't decided if I'm going to do that 100% yet or not, but nevertheless, it's on the radar. But yeah, I think they're good, those conferences. They really get people involved in the projects and get those business connections happening. You actually usually see that a lot of those partnerships get actually nailed after these conferences happen, so they're good. Nevertheless, let's move on to Lisk. Now, Lisk is a hot topic at the moment. Now, Ryan McCutcheon says, CryptoBud just released a video showing some recent Nebula developments, and I can't believe what they've been accomplishing with such a small team. Crazy. There you go. Go watch CryptoBud's video on the recent Nebula developments for anyone who is a Nebula enthusiast and wants to get involved. That's cool. I like it. Thanks for sharing, Ryan. Now, over at Lisk, up to $30. Wowzers. Lisk, you're going good. Wow. I mean, we're not quite at 0.01 Bitcoin, 0.016 Bitcoin like we were back in April 2016. It's a long time ago, of course. But nevertheless, we've seen some really great movement on Lisk recently. MJH says, Lark, if we can't talk Nexus, can we talk Quantum? Go back in the video a little bit. We talked Quantum a little bit already. That was probably 20 minutes ago. Lisk is a project that's got great community support. The rebrand, cool. I think that will probably help them if they can get a more, businessy sounding rebrand. But they've got a very serious team of people based over there in Germany. Wow. That is, look, they're continually hiring really capable, confident people, and they're getting much better at their messaging. Chuck says, why is Lisk doing a rebrand? Lisk is a good, unique name. Yeah, but I hope they'll come up with a, good, unique name as well. But they're doing a rebrand, and that's the reality of this situation. Probably for a professional tech company talking to banks and all these different things, you might want to, maybe a more serious sounding name. Something that says, we're a tech company. Don't know. Sometimes rebrands are just silly, and I don't really know why they do that, but... Lark, when are you going to talk about WanChain and Nex? Well, we already talked about Nex earlier, and I'm not going to talk about WanChain today because I haven't looked into it yet, so I can't talk on stuff I don't know about, guys. Rebrand is going to be the next craze, says Cryptology. Yeah, to an extent. Lisk did an announcement about an announcement that they're going to have a rebrand. That's kind of silly. Why not just rebrand? They could have rebranded months ago, but of course they're rolling it as much as they can, trying to get as much media play as they can. And hey, it's a tough space, guys. You got to keep that in mind. Companies like Lisk, and yeah, it's a rank 14 cryptocurrency, but still, they got some tough competition. They're competing against some big fish here, guys. So, Munted One. Hasn't Lisk been rebranding since last year? Yeah, they have been. But hopefully it's actually going to happen at some point in the near future. Anyway, on to our old buddy, Nerm. J Mill asks, Hitters Zhu interview. Thoughts on Nebulous? I would love to interview Hitters Zhu. I've reached out to Nebulous, haven't heard anything back. I need to get a personal assistant to chase these people around all the time. It's a full-time job, guys, trying to line up interviews that are interesting. So, Infinite Access says major emphasis on the software development kits. That's important for Lisk. Yeah, Lisk's got a lot of great stuff that brings to the table, without a doubt. Now, NEM, the hardest working blockchain in the business. Perhaps. Anyway, finally knocked out of the top 10. It's down at rank 13 these days. After that CoinCheck hack, I think there's a certain amount of trepidation perhaps around them. I don't know. I think NEM's at a pretty decent buy-in price right now. If you look at how busy the guys over at NEM have been, wowzers. Like I said, they are one of the top working blockchains out there. They've had a lot of projects developing on NEM. And their team is very active, always out there. They've got a good media team. They're working much better on trying to get that message going. DJ Medley says, NEM, not easy money. NEM's a nice long hold. But $4.7 billion market cap at the moment. Let's see how they develop by the end of the year. I mean, NEM's had stupid run-up in the past 12 months. I mean, yeah, back down to 50 cents, so we have seen a bit of a retracement. But still, if you look at this compared to just 1 year ago where NEM was, you know, some people who kind of get in like, oh, NEM, isn't that kind of boring? They don't really do much. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? NEM was half a cent this time 1 year ago. And so, yeah, we've seen, you know, some run-ups and downs over the year. But, you know, if we go back to where NEM was, you know, we got to $2 on some exchanges. $1.88 is what CoinMarketCap is recognizing it at. But we did get over $2 on some exchanges. So there you go. Okay. Let's knock through the next couple here real quick. So, EOS, the ICO that never ends. Now, I had a lot of people asking questions the other day after I talked about this in my news video. If you have EOS tokens and if you are an American citizen, you are not able to register. You are probably, I imagine, geofenced. I'm not in the US, so I don't know if geofencing is going on or not. But a lot of people were saying that, yeah, I can't even get to that page to register. So there might be geofencing going on. I guess you guys could you could try using a virtual private network. Might be the solution to your problems. Not saying to break the rules or anything, but I'm just saying that that's out there, you know. So I'm not going to say too much about EOS. It's a very promising project, but let's let the ICO finish before we actually give them a fair analysis, we can say. Okay, next up is Stellar. Nice. I like Stellar. You know, Stellar is one of those projects I just wish I had bought more of when it was, like, you know, worth nothing. And that wasn't very long ago. Stellar's had a massive run-up recently. And we're actually seeing projects built on Stellar now, which is very cool. Stellar, good potential moving forward. That being said, is a rank 7 cryptocurrency at the moment. I could hope that we would see a nice pullback coming from Stellar. I mean, if you look at the run-up that Stellar's had, remember, back in, let's say, just back in November, it was only like 5 cents, right? 4 cents, 5 cents. And so if you look at the 3-month here, that kind of growth right there is a crazy situation. Of course, this was right on the back of some news of some major partnerships, not to mention, of course, the overall run-up in the market. So, very strong project. I'm quite bullish on Stellar long term. 69 Steph says, bought a lot of Stellar at 1 cent. Nice. Nice, 69 Steph. That was a good play. Good play indeed. I hope you're still hodling. Or sold at the top, either way. Now, Cardano. Awesome project. Big retracement as well. 39 cents currently. Obviously, we saw that hitting highs back there of about $1.25. Got to $32 billion market cap, which is big time. We have seen a pretty solid move back on that ever since that previous high point. So we're now at half the Bitcoin value of what it currently was, so 50% retracement on the Bitcoin value. 39 cents I see as a pretty decent spot to get into Cardano these days. I mean, obviously, I would love to hope for a 5 cent Cardano again. Get the dump truck out, back it up. I don't think we're going to see that situation happen. But 39 cents certainly isn't a bad place to get involved in Cardano. I think the market has kind of looked at, recognized, and understand what they want. So, and Cardano is what they want. Cardano is what I want. Guys talking about EOS and Dan Larimer in the comment section there. Good old Dan the man. Okay. And finally, the big boy, Ethereum. Ethereum. Now look, most of everyone I've talked about here today, competitors to Ethereum, at least on some level, right? Ethereum has maintained its position as number 2, except for, I guess, a few short times when, you know, Bitcoin Cash popped up above it or whatever, and in the pumps that have happened. But generally, Ethereum has stayed incredibly strong over time. Now look, the big question is on everyone's mind right now is Ethereum going to scale? And that is the real problem. Patty Man asks, any news about Cryptopia? Those little Kiwis are having a few issues lately. Cryptopia. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Definitely not a favorite exchange by any means. Mercedes asks, any NEP5 decentralized exchanges coming out soon? Yeah, Nex and Aphelion. If Aphelion ever gets their act together and drops an exchange on us or not. Now look, the things with Ethereum that we have to keep in mind here, it needs to scale, and of course that is on everyone's mind. Is Ethereum going to scale? And look, there's so many ways that they're looking at doing that, and that goes back to what we talked about at the I'm looking at Smart Media Tokens, the Slopestyle just posted at the start of the chat today, you know, with different testing out of TrueBit. We've got, you know, sharding being proposed. We have side chain solutions. We have Plasma coming, right? We have off-chain scaling solutions, which is Raiden. Everybody is trying to scale Ethereum. At some point, it's going to scale, and it's going to scale big time, and it's going to be able to really keep up with, I think, what's going on with the other blockchains who are coming in to compete with it. Will Ethereum always be number 1? Not necessarily, or number 1 as far as the blockchain smart contract platforms, but it's good, though. It's good. And the thing with Ethereum is that a lot of businesses look at Ethereum and go, we like what Ethereum does. We like that. That's why the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance is very popular, for example. That's why a lot of businesses hold Ethereum, right? Not to mention, you think of all the solutions that are being built specifically for Ethereum, things like QuantStamp, right? And so many others that are built to make Ethereum better. That being said, all that stuff needing to be built on top of Ethereum when other projects coming up underneath Ethereum simply have that stuff inherently in it. Projects like Cardano, for example, or EOS, if they ever finish their ICO. That is all something to keep in mind as well. Jim says, don't be married to a coin. Be aware of what is happening on a meta scale. Good advice. Good advice. All that stuff to make Ethereum better for the last 3 years and nothing has happened, says Gregory Barton. Yeah, but it's definitely in the process of coming to an end here pretty soon. So someone's asking about what do I think about titanium. We talked about that earlier in the video, so you can go back and check that out. Joe Smith, that's it. Joe, go back and check out the start of the video, what I think about titanium. Like I said, I've never been a huge fan of the project, but go back and check my comments out earlier. Okay, guys, we're going to finish that up there for today. Thank you so much for joining into the live stream, everybody. I really appreciate all you guys for coming here, asking questions, and, you know, helping each other out in the chat. I see what goes on there in the chat, talking to each other, and that is really, really cool. Guys, thank you so much for getting involved, for being part of the community. You guys are the ones who make all of this possible. Big shout out to the moderators as well for hopping in and keeping it all clean in there, guys. So thank you so much. Guys, you know what time it is. Long live the blockchain.